Welcome to the house in Fata Morgana. I don't know shit about this game. Also, my god, it's kind of loud. Okay, let's see the audio monitor. Okay, it's looking okay. Alright. Enter the mansion. Lightning sounds. You already know it's gonna be evil. Produced by Novectacle. Novectacle? There is a house. That sits beyond dark, dense woods. Like the world fading into view after a dream. The old mansion appears before you. Without realizing it, you instinctively accept as truth the events unfolding before you. Capital Y. The house lives in perpetuity, an amalgam of myriad fates and generations. No one knows who first said, that the mansion was cursed. Planning, script direction, Keika Hanada. Art, Moyataro. Music, Meloken. Kovo Yusuke Tsumi. Takaki Moria. Aikawa Razuna. The house in Fata Morgana. They love that blur filter, bro. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Hallowed be thy name. Have mercy on me, O Father. And cast their souls into eternal damnation. What kind of prayer is this, bro? I was looking down upon a corpse. My own corpse. Whoa. I was afflicted with great despair. At the sight of it being dragged to the place of my crucifixion, my soul crumbled, and I was wholly extinguished. Indeed, I did once lose everything. However, as I faded into darkness everlasting, I heard a voice calling out to me, and so I vowed once more that no matter how long it may take, how great the obstacles that stand in my way, or what form you may assume, I shall come back for you, not capital Y. That I must return to that house. So I ask of you, please wait, until this mutilated body arrives there once more. Your consciousness, wavering like a ship at sea, was slowly drawn back to the surface. Father or mother? With each new breath, feeling gradually return to your fingers, capital Y again. Master. You could hear the pattering of rain from somewhere. Master? And the sound of a crackling fire. Wake up, Master. Creak, creak, creak. Wake up! When you come to, you were rocking back and forth in a rocking chair. The room was dimly lit. Aside from the flickering of the fireplace, there was no other illumination. No light shone through the closed windows. There was only the pitter-patter of rain on the glass. It was as though the whole mansion had been enveloped in darkness. What the fuck is this? What is this? Window, auto, skip, load, save, backlog, config. Oh, splendid! You're finally awoken. Someone called out to you, capital U, capital Y, bro. You were about to search the room, but that turned out to be unnecessary. The source of the voice was crouching beside the chair, looking up at you with emerald eyes. Who is this lady, bro? Good morning, Master. Good morning. What is the matter? Are you still waking up? You seem rather drowsy. Come now, you must gather yourself. Though I am glad to hear your voice, I've simply been waiting so long for this moment. Tending to the mansion all by my lonesome, ensuring it was ready for your return, whenever that time may be. When I caught sight of you through the window, my heart fluttered. She's crazy, bro. The time had finally arrived. For what, bro? You were perplexed? This woman who looked like a maid seemed to know you, but you had no memory of her. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? I have some wonderful chamomile leaves, if you would like. Or perhaps your tastes have changed since last we met. Tell me, Master, what would you like? Hehe, I beg your pardon. I allowed myself to get too excited, but I hope you will be sympathetic, Master. I'm utterly elated that I could see you again. The woman appeared to be genuinely delighted that you had awoken, but she seemed to lack the energy typical of her age. Or perhaps life was a more appropriate word than energy. She's a doll. But the gloom extended beyond the maid. It seemed to encompass the entire mansion. Whoa. The plaster walls emulated by the fireplace and the rose engravings and the ebony pillars felt vaguely familiar. But a crushing sensation of claustrophobia overpowered that familiarity. It seems as though the house wasn't interested in accepting you just yet. Oh my, you do know who I am. Do you not know who you are either? That is quite the predicament. If you cannot remember who you are, then who am I to serve? The woman's face was pale, almost as though she was a corpse. A faint chill ran down your spine. Are we a necromancer, bro? You are the master of this house, though it would seem you have no memories of such. Oh. Quite the dilemma. If you know not who you are, then you are no different than a stranger to me, no? Indeed, you have returned, but from where, that I cannot say. Are we Jesus, bro? Are we Jesus? Because look, we were crucified supposedly, and we were looking at our body from up above. But then, as we were dying and fading into darkness, a voice called out to us. And we were back, and then we were... Was the voice talking about how we need to get back into the house? Interesting. Then how about this? I am a servant of this mansion, and as such, I'm familiar with the many incidents that have taken place here. Interesting. I shall show you the history of this house, master. That will surely allow you to recall who you are. But she looks evil, bro. Do you trust her? No. The freshly awakened gears in your head began to turn as you mulled things over. The maid had called you the master of this house. Without a single mirror in the room, you had no way of seeing what you look like. Unable to decide, you reflexively nodded. Let us be off then, and fear not, I merely entreat you not to let go of my hand. What the fuck does entreat mean? To ask, beg, or plead with someone in a serious, urgent, or emotional manner. What the fuck just happened? Why did control just skip half the game? What the fuck just happened, bro? Okay, never press control, bro. Or you will die. Okay, can we save? Oh, we can see everything that happened before. No matter how long it may take to... What is going on with my PC, bro? Send my way, or what form you may assume. So as the girl, we see an obstacle? Should you hold it tightly, you need not worry about being washed away by the waves of history. No matter what happens, you mustn't let go of my hand. Do you trust her? What the fuck is this? Your hand in hers, you followed the maid's lead through the hall. The air within the mansion was oppressive, as though a black miasma hovered within. The house was bleak and barren, hardly a trace of color to be found. You came across an open window. Beyond it lay nothing but darkness. Neither sunlight or moonlight could be seen. There were no chirping birds, no rustling grass, no signs of life at all. Everything that would normally give color to the world had vanished entirely. The only presence was that of the maid. Following her lead, you proceeded through the mansion. After some time, you arrived at a double door. The glass within shattered. The door, once pure white, had long since faded into a dull gray. It appeared to lead to the back garden. You could hear children laughing on the other side. Though it is in the state you now see, a beautiful, beautiful garden once lay beyond these doors. The owner of the thyme enjoyed gathering rare species of rose from all across the world. So the garden is called the thyme? At its greatest, it seemed every flower was in constant competition for the most majestic bloom. Would you like to see this wonderful era of splendor and prosperity? I very much hope it is to your liking, master. Dude, I don't trust her, bro. The maid opened the doors to the back garden. A sudden gust of wind brushes across your face, forcing you to close your eyes as you allowed the maid. As you followed the. Wait. A sudden gust of wind brushed across your face, forcing you to close your eyes as you followed the maid out the doors. When you next opened your eyes, the world was no longer blanketed in shadows. The first door. 1603. That's a long time ago. Move the cursor to the bottom right corner of the screen to display the in-game menu. You can save and load your progress and change the game settings there. I know, I've hovered it by accident. The mansion had an alluring air of beauty about it in that era. It was almost like something out of a fairy tale. This period of history could perhaps be described as a symphony of destruction, as cumbersome principles of old came crashing down. Freed from the day-to-day oppression of these antiquated precepts, the people seemed to hark back to the more poetic, expressive ways of old. What? They took these newly blossoming emotions in hand, and with them they wrote literature, painted portraits, composed theater, and found love. Even the church, which had maintained authority throughout the Middle Ages, embraced the changing times, adopting the culture's flowering sense of aesthetic. War would break out not 20 years from then, plucking the ripened era from the tree of history. That is of no concern to us now. At the time, it was still what people referred to as the Golden Age, a period of furor for all who were there. What an interesting song. Wow, what a beautiful sight. Now let us take a slight detour. No, we will not be changing locations. This is a tale about the mansion from beginning to end. We will, however, be moving through time. Say about 8 years into the past. A very wealthy family lived in the house then. The mother and father, brother and sister all had distinctive, beautiful flaxen hair. I was always enamored by their hair. Their hair. By contrast, mine is the color of a wet crow. See, there I am standing around, looking rather a fool. I was happy back then, and what reason did I have not to be afforded the opportunity to attend to such a beautiful home? So I poured my heart into serving that family. Listen closely if you would. That soft fleeting sound that could only be a young girl singing. Can you hear it? La 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 la. The girl you see cheerfully picking crimson roses and singing like a songbird was called Nelly. Though young, she sang with elegance. Nelly was deeply fond of the house's garden, and she would often spend her afternoons there. Gorgeous roses gathered from all across the world bloomed in the garden. They were given the utmost care and even had their thorns removed. That seems very like symbolic of something. So young Nellie wouldn't hurt herself naturally. The light brown haired girl carefully plucked petals from the roses, gathering them up as she sang. Her voice was like music played by fairies, nay, the sight of her was like an angel descended from heaven. Okay, but let's stop the glazing. Oh dear, please don't look at me like that. I admit I was being rather fanciful, but what is a woman if not fanciful? Bro, I don't trust this girl. Little bird, singing night and day. For little bird heart sang your woes away. Pretty flies all around the little birds. And even when the sun comes up, oh dearest Mel, I've forgotten what comes next. Are you listening? Mel is like, I don't give a fuck. Nellie was, as a matter of fact, not the only visitor the rose garden had the rose garden that day. Okay, I'm gonna turn down the music a bit more, because my god, it is loud. I don't want to be rude, but that song is dog shit. Nellie was as a she always came with her older brother Mel. The young siblings were inseparable. Mel adored his little sister, who in turn pined for his attention. The sight of the two innocent children cuddling together, not yet shackled by the fear of the future, by the fear for the future, was truly heartwarming. That day, Mel was sitting in the shade of a tree reading a book. As I'm sure you're aware, in their time, books could not yet be mass-produced. What he was reading had been copied by a scribe. I presume he had borrowed it from the church. The book, having passed through many hands over the years, was visibly worn, but I suppose that just speaks to its importance. It was in fact a Latin grammar book he was reading, a Latin grammar textbook he was reading. That was a clever boy. He had attended church from a very young age, where a priest would instruct him in Latin grammar. So at that time, I believe he was capable of reading even advanced texts. Oh, what did she say? Oh, dearest Mel, please. The young girl approached her brother, who was consumed by the text. In her hand, she carried a large pile of rose petals. Though his sister's shadow overlapped with the tree, the boy still did not notice. So Nellie puffed her cheeks, thrust out her slender arms, and let the petals fall. Gah! Hey, look, your head is covered in roses, Mel. Oh, Nellie, you got petals on the book. This isn't mine. I can't afford to let it get dirty. It's your fault, dearest Mel. I tried to get your attention. And besides, flowers don't get a book dirty. I must raise the white flag. When did my little lady find herself such sharp wit? While waiting for you, dearest Mel. I waited and waited, and you didn't so much as glance at me. I'll be an adult by the time you're done reading that book. Wow, that soon? That soon? What is this, girls grow up fast? Haha, she may be right. In that case, we should do something together before you're all grown up. Surely you won't play with me any longer when you become an adult. That's not true. I'll still play with you even when I'm grown up. I have a feeling they'll have like a gruesome fucking death. Am I wrong? But grown-ups don't play Nelly. Fine, I'll still a child forever then. Oop, shouldn't have said that. Didn't you just say you were about to grow up? You're so mean, Mal. Haha. I'm sorry, please don't spout, my little lady. How about this? To make it up to you, I'll play whatever you want today. Really? Do you mean it? I want to play make-believe. Oh, hell no. Make-believe? Make-believe. I'll be a princess taken captive by an evil kingdom, and you, dear Smell, will be my valiant knight. And then you turn into a prince when you rescue me. A knight can become a prince? Impressive. They can. Knights and princes both have to be charming, so of course they can. Which is why it must be with your smell. No one else can be my prince or my knight. I hope this doesn't go into incest, bro. While he may have appeared outwardly embarrassed as his rose-cheeked sister proclaimed prattlingly, I'm certain he was smiling on the inside. After a few moments, he meekly knelt, bringing himself to eye level with Nellie and gently stroking her soft hair. All right then, you're my princess, Nellie. Not just anyone's princess, dear Smell, but yours alone. So I'm don't make no one's princess but mine, okay? Nellie. Geez, my princess is quite the fawner. Is that bad? Does that make you dislike me? Not at all. I'm proud to have you as my sister, Nellie. You mean more to me than anything in the world, my dear princess. I love you, dearest Mel. You'll always be my friends forever and ever. Her mood quite improved. Nellie began humming the melody of the song she had forgotten the lyrics to. Holding the skirt of her dress out from her body, the young girl pranced about the rose garden. Mel, his eyes on her back, gave a little shrug. Oh, Nellie, don't come crying to me if you trip running like that. But Mel was not entirely disapproving of his sister's excitement. He carefully brushed aside the petals on his book, set it in the shade of the tree, and began chasing after Nellie. They were picturesque siblings brimming with hope, and at this time in their lives there was nothing to jeopardize that hope. Would it not be wonderful if children could stay children forever, Master? As I see it, through the pleasant, gentle times in our lives have value because they come to an end. Wouldn't you agree? Time continues to flow, impartial and without exception, and as such everyone's childhood comes to an end. Be that as it may, does time also flow at the same speed for each individual? Now, let us take a trip down the river of time. I would be very delighted if we could remain at this point in time, but unfortunately we cannot. Please don't let go of my hand, Master. This is the church. Why are their heads so small? I'll be on my way then. Priest, oh, you usually stay for longer. Yes, I have an errand to run today. Thank you for your time as always. Would you like the book back sometime next week? Next week or the week after. Hold on to it as long as you like. But surely there are others who want to use it. Not as sharp as you, Mel. Put yourself in my shoes and you'll understand. I want to give you any advantage you can get. Aha! Oh, do you not believe me? Not believe you, Father. And I mean to do whatever I can to not to disappoint you. That's the spirit. If you need anything, do not hesitate to ask. I'm proud to have you as my pupil. Yes, and Mel, do consider what we were talking about. Going to university? Indeed. If you do, I can introduce you to some accomplished instructors. There is very little left for me to teach you, and I believe you would make a fine priest. Aye. It's an honorable thing, Mel, to devote yourself to the service of our Lord. I'll give it some thought. If you'll excuse me, then. I'll see you again. Our doors are always open. Farewell. Whether it's in the service of God or the service of the church, it is an honorable profession. But theology, I wouldn't mind attending university, but I'm not sure. I'd kind of like to do something different, something more befitting of the times. As for what, though, I'm stumped. But I need to make up my mind soon. If I drag my feet for too long, even my father is liable to grow impatient. Mercy me! Beggar, young sire, blessed young sire, alms for the poor. Ah, this beggar, if I'm not mistaken, he's been outside the church since last week. Let me shave the game, just to make sure I don't lose. Yes. What the hell is this? I have like 20? the way he shakes his head, I can get a glimpse of his forehead under his hood. He's completely bald. Buy yourself some bread with this. Ah, thank you very much. May the Lord bless your soul. Thanks, the Lord. Oh no. Let's go to be cross if I don't hurry home. Curses, it looks like it's going to rain. Master, master. Oh, thank goodness. You appear to have a firm grasp on your consciousness. I was afraid you had accidentally let go of my hand. Yeah. Wait, are we the beggar? Or Mel? I don't know, it's weird. Showing us our past or some random shit? Now, Master, the spirit of time I truly wish to show you. The boy reading in the rose garden was now a fine young man. Nonetheless, he still bore the same gentle eyes as before, and he would from time to time show remnants of that innocent young boy. He was in his own mind still making the transition to adulthood, I suspect. Mel frequently visited the church on Sundays to participate in Mass, of course, but more often to be tutored by the priest. In addition, he also attended a private school run by an eminent marquis. That was not a school where students had desks and sat in rows. They studied at the marquis's estate. Secondary higher education was not the same as it is today. And Mel was considering university. The priest wanted to recruit him to the church, but Mel was having difficulty deciding on what he should do. That he had such a choice is envious, is it not? Good afternoon. Here to pick up my order. Is it ready? Aye, ready and waiting, young Master Rhodes. Oh, don't call me young Master, please. I beg your pardon. Kenny seems to get me head out of the past. Your order's right here, sir. Val had stopped at a jewelry store in the center of town on his way back from the church. The building was both a workshop and storefront, and the nobles of the area were deeply fond of the master's wares. He was so skilled even the royal family had commissioned work from him. As a matter of fact, the wooden sign out front was engraved with a replica of a piece of his jewelry said to be on display in the palace. My bad, I be texting. As an artistry flourished in this golden age, the number of shops selling luxurious items such as jewelry rose in kind. As artistry flourished in this golden age, however, the clientele of the shops comprised a very narrow range of people. May I have a look? Of course, of course. Good, it came out just as I hoped. Splendid work. Can't afford to disappoint you, loyal customer like yourself. An admirable work ethic. I'm sure she'll love it. Such a kind lad, young master. A boy back home could do well to learn a thing or two from you. Every man ought to show women some cordiality. Coming home to a cold fireplace is a sad thing indeed. Ha ha ha. Again, please don't call me young master. My apologies. take this and be on my way then. Good night. If you find yourself in need of anything else, just let me know. Can make any jewelry you ask for. I'll pause this 2 seconds. Alright, I'm back, and I guarantee the two of you will have all sorts of fun when you give it to her. What? He's giving it to his sister. Please, I don't have a sweetheart. Well, that's a surprise. I'm sure many girls are vying for your hand too, young Mr. Rhodes. Fine family, good looking, charming. And your future's all but. I'll be mine then. I'm in a bit of a hurry. Good day, come by anytime. Goodness. Maybe I'll say I want to study abroad or something. Patient as my father may be, that would certainly anger him. I can hear it now. You're wasting your God-given talents, boy. I could renounce my name and rank, go somewhere far away. That sounds like kind of a plan Nelly would come up with. As he drew closer to the mansion, the rich fragrance of roses grew more prominent. Over time, this distinctive scent had led visitors to the referred house as Rose Manor. It was also probably a play on the flaxen-haired family's last name. Rhodes, which you could hear the owner of the jewelry store say just moments earlier. The mansion looked quite different than it does now, no? Can't see the mansion, I can tell you that much, bro. It just looks like a fucking blur of pixels. No thickets of ivy covering the walls and no rotten broken doors to be found. I wonder what the Rose family would think if they saw the house in its present tragic condition. The sight of their abundantly blooming roses, a veritable symbol of prosperity, long since withered and turned into soil. My apologies, I got a little sentimental there. Let's forget for a moment about our own time. I suppose I stayed out a little too long. Oh well, the sun still shines high in the sky. I'm sure it's... Dearest Mel, what took you so long? Where have you been? I've been waiting forever. Nelly, you're not in the house. Nope. I'm taking so long, so I decided to wait by the gate. You didn't even notice me at all. Is that a way to treat a lady? All that stuff didn't got your head stuck in the clouds. No, it hasn't really. Also, you're heavy. Could you please get off my back? Heavy? I've been gradually reducing the amount of sweets I eat, and I love sweets. To maintain my figure for a new dress, and you call me heavy? I didn't catch that. Were you saying a tongue twister? Such a dimwit, Mel. Jerk, blockhead, weakling. And obnoxious to boot. Whatever happened to the delightful little girl who was once my sister? She'd probably throw a fit if I said that out loud. Should you really be outside, Nelly? You are the star of today's event. It's fine, they can call it a birthday party, but I know it's just about fraternizing. It's obvious what father's true motives are. He'll be gathering a bunch of boys from good families to look for someone to marry me off to. Ugh, I have no interest in that at all. You'll be like that, Nelly. It's all here for you. Let's enjoy what you can of the party. Grrr. I guess, and besides, it's not completely terrible. Look at this, dearest Mel. What do you think? What do I think? About what? About what? Mm, my new dress. It arrived, I'm wearing it. How could you not notice? I didn't notice it was something I hadn't seen before, but yeah, so many dresses Nelly saw. But this is the dress I had made just for today. Look at the colors, they're so pretty. It's the work of a renowned dyer. And this belt is just lovely. You see how it comes together to form a butterfly? Barely, but... Oh. I'm just absolutely in love with it. I think I'll be wearing this dress for a while to come. So tell me, what do you think? Does it look good on me? Yeah, it does. It's pretty. In some ways, I guess she's still a delightful little girl. Oh, just man, I love you. Doosh. Well, don't jump on me like that. Uh, oh my, you dropped something. What? Have you here? Wait, hold on. No, you can't have that yet. Is that a present? Give it back. I was going to give you that to you later. Anyway, it's for me. And just what could it be? Hey, don't open it. What's the big deal? It's going to be mine soon anyways, isn't it? Oh, I love it. A rose necklace. And this design is from the jeweler the royal family uses. My dearest Mel, you had this made just for me. Oh, jeez. Defeats the purpose if you open it before the party. Happiness is always better sooner than rather than later, Mel. I think I'll put it on right away. There, how does it look? It looks lovely. My prince is still the sweetest in all the land. Don't make such weird noises. Oh, but why not? Oh, Prince always knows exactly what his princess wants, bro. I don't like their dynamic. This princess wanted some rose jewelry to go for a new dress. She said, "Hee." Jeez, I'm sure I don't have it easy playing your prince, Nelly. Might be about time you found a new one. A prince is a prince because you can't just find one standing on the street corner. If you want to retire, dearest Mel, you're going to have to wait another 10 years. That's a long time. Or if you find yourself a new princess. I'm not so... Well, you're about as romantic as a rock, dearest Mel. But worry not, your adorable little sister will always be your princess. What more could you want? You're really allowed to be the judge of that. I mean, more to you than any other girl in the world, do I not? Then that makes me your perfect... Bro, this is like... weird, bro. Hey. What with that laugh and it'll all be over soon laugh? You're always telling me I mean more to you than anyone. Yes, you do. More than anyone in the world. My beloved baby sister. I'll take good care of the necklace. Thank you, my dearest Mel. Well, if you're happy with it, then so am I. You're very welcome. Now back into the house with you. Can't have a party without the guest of honor. Do you know if anyone is here yet? Nope. Imagine they'll be here soon, though. When are they gonna die, bro? Real talk. Real gangster talk. When they all dying? Were you down at the church again today, Mel? Yeah, there was something I didn't know how to translate, so I went to look it up. Wow, so diligent. I can't say I really like the priest there personally. Actually, I kind of feel the same way. Well, really, why? Well, you know, I have my reasons. Yeah, so even you'd always like the priest, huh? Let's skip mass on Sunday then. We can go play. No skipping church. As grew the brothers, so did the sister. That day Nelly would be turning 14 and Mel, 3 years her senior, was 17. You saw with your own eyes, so you know just how much she has changed. She was always a cute little girl, and she grew into an even more beautiful young woman. Though she was only 14, she was well on her way to becoming a fine lady. As for her character, well, hey, but a girl like that has her own charms, would you not say? Drifting down the river of time, the two siblings matured into healthy young adults, but the core of the relationship did not change in the slightest. Nelly was very much attached to her brother, and as much as Mel complained, he still cared deeply for his sister. Around the time the sun had begun to set, carriages started lining up outside the well-dressed aristocrats. As well-dressed aristocrats made their way to the house. As Nelly had suspected, the majority of them were boys. Murder at the manor, bro. Yes, I understand. You don't need to say anything more. Rose Manor, right? Okay, we'll go together. Together. Me alone? No, please don't make me. The inhabitants of the Rose Manor are surely living quite contented lives. I'm sure they don't remember a thing. Damn, bro, they're all gonna die. Intermission, bro. The room with the fireplace was always kept in pristine condition so they could entertain guests at any time. Walls colorfully decorated with tapestries and stained glass windows gave testament to their great fortune. The servants' first assignment every morning was to clean this room. Pitchers, silver plates, and silverware were polished to a shine so they could probably be put up to use at a moment's notice. And for events like the daughter's birthday, the room served an important role. The tabletops were removable, so they had ordered new tabletops with designs made especially for this occasion. And once the banquet had drawn to a close, tables speckled with half-empty wine glasses and leftover candied fruits were moved off to the side to make this room, of course, for the festivities. Good evening, Lady Nellie. You're looking particularly lovely today. Nellie had these jewels cut just for you. You'll let me have this dance, won't you? Nellie. Ha! What's the matter, Nellie? You look exhausted. These are pretty good. Want one? I know you like sweets. They're apples, candied, and rock sugar, I think. You disappoint me, dearest Mel. Huh? What do you think is the matter? You just keep coming and never ends. It's driving me up the wall. Everyone is just repeating the same lines they've been taught. They all think pretty jewels and requests to dance are enough to make a girl swoon. But I think that is true for you, Nelly. No, why is she disappointed with me? I think I'm done with birthday parties after this year. They'll probably throw an even bigger one next year. Huh? Why? Well, you know. You're about that age, Nelly. You're a reasonably distinguished family, so there are a number of different houses that would like to have connections with us. So what you're saying is do it for the family. No, that's not. I won't date or marry anyone. I have no interest in being used as a pawn in their family politics. Pawn? I won't go that far. And I'm sure father wants to let you choose yourself. You know, someone you actually love. Love? Never thought I would hear something about love. I would hear you talk about love, dearest Mel. Don't understand what makes Shakespeare's play so beautiful, and you're talking about love. You fell asleep during Romeo and Juliet, and you're talking about love. Went all the way out to the Globe Theatre too. Well, pardon me for being ignorant when it comes to romance and the arts. But you're not, Ellie. Shakespeare's make-believe story made you cry like a baby. Anyone would cry that, and you have to be crazy to sleep through it. That's what I'm saying. Someone as emotionally vibrant as you, Nelly, would have no problem finding love. And dearest Mel, we should dance. Hey, Nelly, could I have this? Let's dance, dearest Mel. What? Me? What? Wait a... Come on, I really like this song. Quit pulling on me, Nelly. What's the point of us dancing? We're siblings. Mother and father are my god, mother and father are staring daggers at us. No matter what day is today, dearest Mel. Your birthday? Exactly, so I can do what I want. Now attend to your princess. Bro, can they stop this bullshit, bro? Oh jeez, how did I get myself into this? Nelly's skirt fluttered along with her as she stepped into the dance to music. She was not only a skilled singer, but also a skilled dancer as well. Mel, on the other hand, fumbled over his own feet trying to keep up. One would be hard pressed to describe his dance abilities as good, even as flattery. Though boys of his pedigree were taught to dance as part of their etiquette lessons, he found himself more being dragged around by his sister. He could hardly be said to be attending to her. This is humiliating. Because his parents have been hands-off in raising him, largely giving him free rein to study and learn what he pleased, Mel looked like a tangled-up marionette. From throughout the hall, he could hear giggling, uncomfortable chuckling, people coughing to disguise their laughter. Come on, dearest Mel. If this is the best you can manage, what are you going to do when you find a girl that catches your eye? I won't, so it doesn't matter. He's gay! Natalie, yeah! Follow my lead, Mel. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Nellie also enjoyed the time dancing with her brother and quite thoroughly at that. It did not matter to her. He moved awkwardly or that the guests were giving them cold stares. It was their parents who first cracked under the pressure. Just as their father was about to give an exaggerated cough that stopped the music, a ruckus suddenly swelled up near the entrance. What could that be? Who knows? What was going on? I've been spared. The music came to a stop and party guests began bustling. The siblings' father spoke up sternly above the noise in order to quell the spreading commotion. He ordered the servants to investigate how the music restarted, gave a short apology to the interruption, and set the party back on course. I went to go check the entrance with the other servants as I recall. Oh my, why you look at me like that? These are not my memories, but those which dwell within the mansion. And we're the master. So, are these our memories or like what's going on, man? Do you think we should be following what happens next from my perspective then? That is not what confused you? Well, your question shall be answered in time. Nothing confused me. In time, let us return to our tale. Though the party had fallen still for a moment, their father's decisive action restored the guests' festive moods in short order, so it was not by any means a commotion that caused the ball to conclude earlier than planned. Oh dear, I hear thunder. It was rather loud too. Sounds like we have quite the storm brewing. They lived in a country where the weather was nothing if not unpredictable. Rain was frequent occurrence there. The stretches of time which clear skies grew longer as summer approached, but the weather was still somewhat unstable on the cusp of 2 seasons. They had a strong wind that night as well, which turned the raindrops into little spears on the window. Were the party to continue any longer, no one was able to go home. Although their father was quite concerned that Nellie had not got to any of the aristocrat boys, he said to cut the festivities short. Thank goodness it ended early. How lucky am I? This must be a blessing for always being such a good girl. I'm not sure having your own birthday party cut short counts as lucky, but it was no fun. I can't help it if I'm not enjoying myself. And for heaven's sake, Arthur was here. I have no interest in dancing with that dunce. Arthur? Who's that again? Someone was here? Unbelievable, you don't remember anything, do you, dearest Mel? He came over to play a few times when we were little. He's covered in gross freckles and he's a huge jerk. He said my hair looked like the color of fallen leaves. Fallen leaves! Just thinking about that ugly smirk has me fuming. And yet he acts like nothing happened. He even calls me Lady Nellie, for God's sake. Are you listening to your smell? I'm listening. I wonder what the ruckus earlier was. Ugh, they weren't listening, were you? Who cares about that? Sorry, but aren't you curious? There was probably another guest at least. Maybe a cat sneaked in. You think so? I do. But is that like, what's it called? Foreshadowing, like someone sneaked in and then they'll all die. They will all be murdered by a bunch of assassins because... Whatever. Would you have to play cards in my room, dear Smell? Seriously, I'm exhausted though. It's not even that late. Fine. Something feels kind of off. A cat? I want to go check. Come on, hurry up. Hold on. Don't need to drag me, Nelly. My birthday isn't over yet, so you're not done attending to me. Oh, Nelly. Bro, she's annoying as fuck. Hopefully she dies. Hopefully she dies, bro. Hopefully You're annoying death sentence. Let's shave again. The rain just won't let up. I can't sleep. I wonder what the commotion earlier was about. Oh, for goodness sake, it's all the storm's fault. That's why I can't sleep. I'm just fretting over nothing. I'm sure he was right. It was just a cat. Maybe a dog. I can't sleep. I hardly ever have this much trouble falling asleep. What could this feeling be, I wonder? It's not quite foreboding. Walking around the house at this time of night isn't going to help anything, but I'm not going to fall asleep just lying here. Something bad's about to happen to me. The only sound that could be heard in the dark corridors were the sharp pitter-patter of the rain, his footsteps, and his breathing. Though he's intimately familiar with the layout of the house, that night the hallways felt like an endless labyrinth filled in shadows. No moonlight shone through the windows, so he naturally found himself moving cautiously despite being in his own residence. Keeping the palm of his hand pressed up against the chilly wall, he put one foot in front of the other. But where was he supposed to head? Well, of course, had no way of answering that question himself. If he had anything, it was guidance from above. The path to his destination led by flashes of lightning. Or perhaps there was something else leading him along. Though he progressed with a fair bit of hesitation in his step, Mel was slowly but surely drawing near to one room in particular. He made his way through the seemingly endless halls, past the living room, its fireplace long since cold, into another corridor, and then stopped outside in Abigail's bedchamber. The dim glow of a lamp spilled through the cracks in the door. A gust of wind is not necessary to make a flame flicker. A burst of movement or vibrations in the air from someone speaking, the slightest of motion could cause a light of fire to quiver, shifting subtly as though nudged by an invisible fingertip. Well, I can see light from inside. Is he still awake? A voice. He seemed to be hesitating. It would be difficult for him to approach the door and peer inside, but he had reservation about peeping in another chamber, even in his own house. Moreover, this room was assigned to a woman. There was a woman behind that door. What would you do, master, in this situation? Would you succumb to curiosity and gaze inside? Would you respect the owner's privacy? I should be doing this, but the voice feels like it's calling to me or someone else. Ah, yes, me. Could sense someone watching me at that moment. Oh, it was her. He had succumbed to his curiosity. He stood on the other side of the door from me, his flaxen eyes open wide, trying to remain invisible as possible. The wavering in his heart seemed to create faint ripples in the air, which I pretended not to notice. Yes, I knew he was there. I could sense his presence and his wavering emotions. However, I could not begin to speculate as to his true feelings or how great a surprise this was to him. I too am discovering new facets of this tale by viewing it through the eyes of the mansion. But it's not I who was of concern, master, it is you. You went. Well, I know I shouldn't be doing this. I know I should be ashamed of myself, but I can't look away. Is that us? Her skin is so pale you can practically see through it. Is it that way because she was cold out in the rain? Her hair was white as snow and her eyes, they're like how do I describe it? My vocabulary truly lacks for a situation like this. They look like blood. No. That's just disturbing. Then wine perhaps? No, more translucent than that. Gemstones then, yes, gemstones. Eyes are like rubies. Never seen anyone like her before. What could they be talking about? Mel's eyes were fixed on a peculiar young woman. She had glass-like skin, eyes that glimmered in the flickering candlelight, and snow-white hair that flowered like luxurious silk. Oh. But her lips were blushed purple, her soft, delicate skin solid with grime, her twinkling eyes pointed down at the floor, and her hair a disheveled mess. She was, even at a glance, clearly not a lady of means. But the tip of her fingers were crackled from the cold, her nails pale from malnutrition, her garb little more than rags. However, the true beauty is always visible, no matter what it may be hidden beneath, even wrapped in a veil of insalubrity. What the fuck does that mean? Insalubrity. And if she thought herself hideous, I wonder what happened to her. Mel could no longer avert his gaze from the girl's visage. He had for the time being forgotten the shame he felt for peeping. As he strained his ears to hear the conversation taking place inside a sickly voice across from the white-haired girl's purple lips. So feeble was the sound that a gentle breeze blows through the room could carry it away. I apologize for the trouble. Think nothing of it. Give your apologies and thanks to mistress. Understood. There's something strangely comforting about this house, almost as if I've been here before. This is definitely us then. If my father were here, I'm sure he would be quite fond of it. I'm sorry about your father, that's not... There is nothing you could have done, I imagine. Then he came to our rescue, he was already... Rescue? Father? That perchance what the commotion was about. He stared intently, interested by the scene unfolding beyond the door. A gaze can often signal one's presence to the others more effectively than words. The white-haired girl could likely sense him there as well. She flickered her gem-like eyes upward. That was when the boy finally felt a pang of panic. For a split second, his flaxen eyes met her ruby eyes, causing him to recoil from the door. His heart was pounding like the rain outside. Careful not to make a sound, he took 2 steps away. Did she catch me? I'm not sure. It was only for a moment. She can't have seen me. The boy did not have the courage to peek into the room a second time, so he cautiously returned to his bedchamber as quietly as he could manage. But even beneath his covers, he could not erase that girl's eyes from his memory. Her melancholic red irises, her voice delicate as a glass sculpture, her pale, almost lifeless skin, her pure white hair. Every singular detail kept him from banishing her image from his mind, nor could he restrain his heavily pounding heart. Guys, it was left at first sight. Who could she be? The white-haired girl. Is something the matter? No, I just thought I felt someone watching us. It's only your imagination, I'm sure. If not your imagination, perhaps some unseen force was watching you. Unseen force? Are you familiar with how the people refer to this mansion? Rose Manor. Yes, indeed. It's called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the rose garden even at a great distance. But that is not what I meant. It is said that a witch resides within the house. What the hell? Is she the witch? Yo, she's the witch, bro. I don't trust her. A witch? I've not heard of such stories. You probably wouldn't have. It was a very, very long time ago. Okay, so she's definitely the witch, bro. She's self-reporting. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. You have a peculiar presence about you. Should I consider that a compliment? It's getting late. You should get some rest. Room has already been set aside for you. But first, may I ask you one thing? Yes. I do not believe you've given me your name yet. My name is... And then we put our name in because this is us. L? Mel. Wake up. Get up, Mel. What? Huh, it's morning? You disappoint me, dear Mel. It's very much long since morning. I didn't see you for breakfast. I came down to find what's the matter. I've really been asleep that long? My father is too lenient on you, dear Mel. Oversleeping is hardly proper behavior for a firstborn son. I know. But before that... Yes, dear Mel? What are you doing in here? You can't just go prancing into a boy's bedchamber. Leave that to the servants. I did send one for you. You're the one who refused to wake up. Besides, not like we're strangers. We used to sleep together all the time. That was a long time. That was long ago. Things are different now. Oh, you're overthinking it, silly. Now hurry up. Out of bed, sleepyhead. Ugh. Alright, I'm getting up. So you can see yourself out. Oh my, you look awful, dear Smell. For someone who overslept, you look like you didn't get a wink of sleep last night. You think so? You didn't go out on the town last night, did you? Naughty, naughty boy. I would never. You know that. You squeak, I don't think I believe you. Didn't go out last night or anything. Sorry because you had me playing cards until late, Nelly. Hey, we weren't playing for that long. Besides, look at me. I got up just fine. Anyway, shoot! I can't get dressed with you in here. Fine, I'm leaving. For you. Oh, I almost forgot your smell. What now? Come on, no need to be mean. I'm sure I'll be quite surprised at the news. Oh, we have a guest. At breakfast, which you missed, Father told us. Told you what? Do you really want to say? It sounds like you want me out of your room, dear Smell. Please, Nelly. We got a new maid today from a house we have ties to, supposedly. I've never seen anyone like her before. For supposedly coming from a good family, she isn't very graceful. I've never seen her at social gatherings. But that's not the surprising part. There's that maid. She's peculiar. Has a very unusual appearance that, one, Have white hair? What? How'd you know about that? How'd you know that, dear smell? Thanks, Nelly. Hey, get back here. For goodness sake, what's got into him? Bah. Bah, 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 babe. At the time, the majority of servants at the mansion were men. However, the ladies of the house all had Abigails, so there were several women servants, myself included. The maids, by and large, were selected from the daughters of other esteemed families. It was, you could say, a sort of training before they entered society. The girls would serve at houses even more powerful than their own, and the white-haired girl Mel saw the night before was one such maid. When he heard this, Mel could not sit still any longer. I didn't really think this through, did I? I don't even know where she is. She's probably mother's maid. Well, here, it has to be the girl from last night. But deep down, he was having difficulty believing the young woman had seen previous night was truly here to be a servant. And can you blame him? When he saw her, she was an absolute mess, hardly what you would envision from a girl of class. But he did not seek her to find out whether that was true. He merely wanted to see her once more to ascertain whether what he had witnessed the previous night was real or his imagination. And he wanted to have an actual conversation with her. I don't want to run into mother, that would be awkward. He was heading towards his mother's bedchamber, but closer he drew, the heavier each step grew. He rounded a corner, debating whether or not to head back, and stopped in his tracks. On occasion, wishes do come true. When Mel turned the corner, he saw the same girl, the same white hair. Well, she appeared to be cleaning the hallway. She traced along the wooden carving lining the walls, big as not to miss a speck of dust. The girl wore a pristine dress, a uniform of the mansion's Abigails. There was no longer any filth to obscure her beauty. All that had covered her pure white hair and glass-like skin was no longer. The one thing that had not changed was her listless ruby eyes. Pardon me. Hearing his footsteps, the young woman raised her head. She caught Mel's gaze for a brief moment, merely blinked at him in silence. Lord Mel, yes. Your father informed me of you. Did he? I guess I don't need to introduce myself then. I believe she made an attempt to smile, though it was difficult to tell as she quickly dropped her gaze back to the floor. Flax and Ruby met only the briefest moment. She's been looking at both someone and at no one at all. Everyone here truly has the most beautiful color of hair. Did you have business with the mistress, Lord Mel? Could tell her if you would like. I was looking for you. For me? All the blood in his body had begun to flow backwards. He could not effectively describe the sensation, but in a word it resembled panic. In his way to find her, Mel had come up with a number of subjects he wanted to talk about, but he generally was a little trouble speaking with others. He'd had less experience interacting with women, this was true, but the time he had spent around Nelly had kept him from stumbling too much. Until then. Yeah, for you. Why would you be looking for me, Lord Mel? I was wondering how you were doing. Pardon? Quite fine. That's great to hear. You fool, Mel, what are you even saying? More for things to ask, like where she came from. Tell her she has pretty hair and eyes. But I don't want to trouble her too much. Lord Mel? Yes? Sorry, you just suddenly fell silent, huh? Was I in your way? In my way, not at all. What are you up to? I'm cleaning. Well, yeah, I didn't even need to ask. Ah, you're cleaning. Oh, you could just let the other servants take care of the cleaning? You're one of the noble's daughters we took in, right? Then why is mother making? No, I'm doing this because I want to. The mistress appeared to be busy, and I could not simply be idle. But I enjoy cleaning. Well, if you say so. Say, yesterday. The mansion is truly a thing of beauty. All the many roses in the garden, even the furnishing has a great deal of thought put into it. The family must have a wonderful sense of aesthetic. Oh, yeah, thanks. Did she just change the subject on me? I'm delighted to have been given the opportunity to serve at such a magnificent house. Mother and father actually had nothing to do with that, not even the garden. It's been around since my grandfather's time. This mansion was a complete wreck when he bought it. In fact, I'm surprised he actually paid money for it. The chandelier in the foyer Shattered and only half attached to the ceiling. Most of the decorations on the walls were broken. I can hardly imagine. This is marvelous. This is a marvelous, impressive house. I'm sure he'd be flattered to hear it. My grandfather was a bit of an eccentric. He elected to do things people didn't expect just to watch the looks of surprise on their face. He was the kind of man who would buy a mansion that was beyond repair just to give it a completely new life. Everyone had seen the property before it was renovated and was astonished. They regretted not taking the opportunity themselves, seeing the transformation it underwent. Huh? I was thinking that you're kind of like this house. What do you mean by that? I mean, when you first arrived... Oh, no, never mind, forget it. She figured out you were peeping on her, stupid. She hasn't yet, has she? Yes. Oh, that's nothing. The more I think about it, you and the mansion are really comparable. Oh? Truth is, being a rundown mess isn't the only reason nobody wants to buy the house. They say... Whoa! Blood. Was that a vision that all who dwell within this house shall be met with misfortune? Do you believe it? I'm just kidding. It's not actually true. I saw rumors and hearsay embellished to make the tale more exciting. The rumors only started because of how it used to look. If the mansion truly begot misfortune, then we wouldn't still be here. And it wouldn't explain how my grandfather died. Do you know how he passed away? No, how did he? Inside a lovely lady? What? Believe it or not, that was how he died, together with a young, beautiful woman. He sat around while he was making love to her, they say. A rather crude way to go. But he was hardly misfortunate. What'd I tell you? Ah, yes. Just so you know, I promise I didn't hear my grandfather's propensity for such base behavior. I'm pure of body and spirit, dedicated to wholly to my studies, so. Haha. Hey, she laughed. My apologies. No, it's fine. Anyway, we were talking about the mansion, right? I've always thought it was kind of a strange place myself. That dress you're wearing, it was found here after my grandfather bought it. You'll see that kind of design around these parts, so I'm guessing it was probably imported. The architecture is really old-fashioned too, must have caught grandfather's eye. When he announced his plans to buy, the entire family opposed his decision, but he refused to budge. The renovations upon renovation gave the mansion new life, but all his work, he was more fond of the roses in the garden. He collected species from all across the world, and every time he got a new one, he would summon the gardeners to arrange and grow them. It took incredibly long to complete. There were even some that wouldn't grow in the climate of this land, but grandfather refused to give in. He truly loved the roses. Me, I don't really get how someone could be so impassioned about them. It's just embarrassing every time someone calls this house Rose Manor. Perhaps the roses were meant for someone. What? I'm simply speculating. Roses make wonderful gifts after all. It was for the witch, bro. And did they do? If you like roses so much, Ellie, then you're welcome to go see them here for yourself, pick as many as you'd like. If anyone asks, just say I gave you permission. Don't be shy. I'm sure it'll get tiring if all you do is work. No, I'm sensitive to sunlight. She's a vampire? Oh, that's unusual. Perhaps that explains why you're so pale. I had no idea. That sounds rough. And your skin is so pretty too. You don't seem terribly surprised. Huh? Oh no, I'm very much surprised. Or would you have preferred a more dramatic response? No, I expected you to find it disturbing. I'm sensitive to sunlight and can hardly spend any time outside. That makes me sound like some kind of demonic creature. Aha. Oh, you worry too much. There's not a monster in the whole world as sweet as you. Ugh. He's known her for like 30 seconds. Yes. Are the other maids teasing you perhaps? That black-haired one especially, she's, how should I put it, a little frightening. It's almost as if she has a steel heart or something. She's impenetrable. Right, she's one of my mother's maids too, isn't she? Now I'm even more worried. Since you refuse to follow my instructions, you're henceforth hellspawn. I can imagine her saying that. Oh, and again. I'm very sorry. No need to apologize. In fact, I wish you'd laugh more. She's actually very kind to me, and everything she does with incredible precision and efficiency. She looks so young, and yet she has such skill. How long has she been here in the mansion? Actually, she's been here for quite some time. I don't know exactly how long. No one knows how old she is. It's kind of creepy. I've never once considered her such. Sorry, you're right. It's bad manners to speak ill of others. Either way, she still scares me. It's like there's no light in her eyes, or like her smiles are all fake. Bro, she is the witch, bro. This is so obvious. That doesn't make her any less pretty though. The conversations died. I think I have to think of something else to talk about. Um. Yes, you can ask me anything. Does the master, your father, Lord Mel, often retire from the mansion? I've not seen him around. Oh yeah, father frequently returns home. The mansion is actually our secondary house. What he has though? I was just curious, nothing more. Oh? Yes, what is it? One of the maids asked to see me, so I should be on my way if you'll excuse me. What? Alright, see you later then. Goodbye. She's killing him. Alright, one moment. What's her name? For you. For the care of your room. Lord Mel. That's all. Sorry for holding you up. Why am I so bad at this? She definitely thinks I'm obnoxious. Ugh, I want to hide under a rock. How to reverse time and try this over again. Oh, don't wish for that though. Roses are not becoming of me. He is too kind. Alright guys, I think I'll stop the recording here. I'll say it's kind of interesting, but like kind of slow. But I am a warrior, bro. I'll get through it. Oh, you can close the and just see the art, bro. She's definitely the witch. What the hell is this image, bro? Anyways, thanks for joining me, guys. See you in the next one.